Well guys, we're back dealing with this online arms bill or conservative censorship bill that's growing with yet more lunacy being added to it. At this point, any claims of the Tories supporting free speech should be ended right here for good, but it probably won't. This, if you ask me, is yet more proof they're as conservative as Karl Marx right now, but I expect most of you already know that. In fact, I put up a poll yesterday which at the time of recording is going as I expected it would. What is concerning now is the 8% who think that the Tories support free speech while the other 92% think they don't. Of course, the 92% are clearly right given what's been going on in recent times and what I'm going to go through in this video. But as I've covered before, the Tories are actually taking part in their own cancel culture, censorship and general shitweasel behaviour, just not as open as Labour usually do. This they're of course doing while screaming about stopping woke cancel culture and all of this that they usually go on about and dupe their voters with. It's clearly a mass distraction from their plans to outlaw political dissent if they claim it arms some wet wipes poor fifis. Because yes, apparently in the online arms bill they're pushing for, laws would actually criminalise shitposting online. Of course, it being 2021, it don't stop there, because if you question their medical proclamations or agenda, you could end up with 2 years in prison. So, to the 8% who claim they support free speech, just imagine actually pushing for these censorship laws while calling yourself a conservative and saying you support free speech. Most of my viewers at this point obviously know these are not conservatives, they're commiservatives and literally nothing more. In fact, they're worthless sock puppets obeying their real masters, not the voters, who they actually despise with a passion. This you can see by their actions over the past year or more. The same is actually true of Labour, but literally just under a different name like I've said. Two cheeks of the same arsehole and all of that. Fortunately, most of the country are seeing right through them and indeed the Tory party, but a lot of Tory supporters just don't see it. As I've said before, ignorance is bliss, and I'm willing to bet that none of the die-hard Tory voters know what is even in this Tory censorship bill. Or if they do, they're just being told about the sorts of things that Conservative voters will want, while the Tory party is pushing the others under the table, getting them through on the backhand, the sly fucking dogs. But the fact that most people don't even know about this is not surprising, considering the never-ending stream of news that's coming out to distract everybody at the moment. You literally got COP26 malarkey, medical apartheid, green activists blocking road and never-ending immigration keeping attentions occupied all over the place. Personally, I find it a bit annoying but not surprising that more people ain't clocked on to this online censorship bill, but I expect they will when it passes. Because never mind content creators questioning medical treatments and getting locked up, this law could apply to absolutely anyone, so comments by viewers would be included. Shit, sharing an anti-Boris or Pfizer meme on Facebook could see you do 6 to 12 months inside with this bill. Now on top of that, it's not just going to be questioning the government narrative that will be criminalised under this online harms bill or Conservative Party censorship bill. It will also be trolling and video ratioing, or pylons as they're called. Maybe the government has noticed in every video it's posted after March 2020 their like to dislike ratio has been dropping. This, I'm sorry to say, they can't blame on review bombing, because I've never heard anyone telling viewers to do anything like this. People, it seems, just did that on their own thanks to the actions of Boris and his fuckpig ministers. At the end of the day, we must remember that Boris had great support online and especially here on YouTube pre-March 2020. The public was behind him for the most part, both online and in real life, especially over Brexit, immigration, anti-wokeness and obviously anything but Corbyn. Now it has to be said that that support is in the gutter for a lot of people, because he spent like Corbyn, locked us down like a communist and clearly loves a bit of cancel culture among many other things. I mean, you have to remember that these conservative free speech loving tosspots have literally been running to YouTube and Facebook and telling them to take down content that shits all over their narrative. Usually I have to say because they've cocked up contradicting themselves in the media, no doubt. This content wouldn't have reached any terms of service or any existing laws, but they got that shit taken down all the same. Yep, the free speech loving Tories did that. Pretty piss poor Patel's running around stopping YouTube from having content on its platform while people go and rape kids and do all of this shit. Hundreds of people are crossing the channel every single day and she literally does nothing. She'll come after you though for posting something spicy online. I do have to say though, it seems like incredible levels of desperation, but this is not surprising given the last 20 months we've seen. Most people I know who voted Conservative, both online and in real life, certainly won't be doing it again. In fact, most will be voting Reform as a fuck you to Labour and the Tory party. So I guess that explains why the Tories might need to copy Xi Jinping's style of censorship in 2021. And speaking of China, our government must be subordinate to President Xi or something. I'm not sure if any of you have noticed, but not once do you hear the Conservative government criticise China for anything, do you? In fact, the Tories are as radio silent on China as the BBC is on grooming gangs. And actually, that there is another piss take with this online arms bill or Tory censorship bill. We got grooming gang members running amok with convicted scumbags that should have been deported still living here, yet pretty piss poor Patel will give you 2 years for questioning their agenda. I say never mind online arms, what about actual harms caused by these scumbags and the reports that were covered up by pretty piss poor Patel? I would say there are more pressing issues than giving someone 2 years for questioning the bullshit the government's come out with, but of course this is 2021 and the world that we're living in now. And in fact, just recently it was even reported that some 900 criminals are running around scot-free despite deportation orders, yet pretty piss poor Patel's going to give you 2 years in prison if you question their medical treatments or political narrative. It's literally laughable in every sense of the word, and yet it will not even be known by most people, until of course it comes up and bites them on the arsehole. With this little bill here, the Gulag awaits the political enemies of the freedom-loving Conservative Party and in fact any government that gets in. This law though will likely come into effect just as their new prisons are built, I'm willing to bet. So guys, I guess I'll be seeing you all in the Gulag shortly alongside anyone else who might feel like criticising the government. But if anyone tells you the Tories are the party of free speech and that Labour are fans of cancel culture, please educate these idiots. Kim Jong-Boris is about as conservative as Jeremy Corbyn, Karl Marx or Rash Sakar at this point. He also drips as much soy as Owen Jones, but that's another topic altogether. Now though guys, before I go, I want to thank you all for watching as always, and remember to check out my BitChute, Odyssey and Rumble accounts. They're linked down below alongside my website and everything else. Also at this point I don't like asking, but please share this video as YouTube doesn't seem to be doing it any longer. I guess I'm in the shit can with them these days.
Where